Welcome to Elevate Alpha. Let me ask you something real. When was the last time your mind was quiet? Not distracted, not numbed by scrolling, but peaceful still. Most people don't even remember, because we've become experts at thinking, but amateurs at living. And that voice in your head, it never shuts off. It loops, it analyzes, it predicts every disaster that probably won't even happen. But what if I told you, you don't have to live like this anymore? What would your life feel like if your thoughts weren't constantly racing? How much energy are you burning every day thinking about things you'll never do, or regretting things you can't change? And be honest, are you really overthinking? Or are you just avoiding the fear of taking action? There's a girl I know, let's call her Emily. Every night she would lie in bed staring at the ceiling, not because she couldn't sleep, but because her mind wouldn't let her. She replayed conversations, what she should have said, what he meant by that text, why she didn't start that business last year, and whether she was actually good enough to do anything meaningful in life. She wasn't lazy, she was scared. And instead of acting, she overthought herself into inaction. Sound familiar? Maybe you're like Emily. Maybe you've got 10 tabs open in your brain, and they're all stuck on loading. And the worst part, you know you're doing it. You can feel your potential slipping, but you don't know how to stop the loop. The cost of overthinking. Let me drop something heavy on your heart. Overthinking isn't a personality trait. It's a habit, a coping mechanism. It's your brain trying to feel in control, because deep down, you're terrified of what might happen if you actually let go. But while you're stuck in your head, life is happening without you. Opportunities are passing, dreams are gathering dust, confidence is quietly eroding, and comfort, it's becoming a cage you're decorating with what-ifs. Psychology behind it. Here's what's really happening. Overthinking triggers the default mode network in your brain. It's like your mind's idle mode, but instead of resting, it goes into overdrive, analyzing, planning, judging. You're not actually solving problems. You're cycling through the same fears on repeat. And when you stay stuck in that loop, cortisol, your stress hormone, builds up, sleep gets harder, focus gets weaker, and your brain, meant for creativity and courage, turns into a fear machine. But here's the truth most people never hear. You can rewire that. You can train your mind to stop. Not perfectly, but powerfully. Practical science-backed steps. So, how do you stop overthinking when your brain won't shut off? Let's break this down like a friend, walking you through it. Step 1. The 5-4-3-2-1 grounding technique. This isn't woo-woo, it's neuroscience. When your thoughts spiral, your brain needs an anchor in the present. Try this. 5 things you can see, 4 things you can touch, 3 things you can hear, 2 things you can smell, 1 thing you can taste. You're pulling yourself out of your mind and into your body. This activates your parasympathetic nervous system, your calm switch. Step 2, give your thoughts a job. Your brain hates a vacuum. So if you're not intentionally thinking, you're automatically worrying. So here's what works. Set a worry window. Seriously, give yourself 15 minutes a day to overthink. Write it all down. Let the chaos spill. Then close the journal. You've trained your brain to contain the overthinking instead of letting it run wild. Step 3, ask better questions. Most overthinking starts with, what if I fail? What if I'm not good enough? What if I mess everything up? Flip it. Ask, what if I succeed? What if this is exactly what I was born to do? What if this works out better than I imagined? Your brain will always answer the questions you ask it. So ask it questions that build your life, not break it. Step 4, movement over mind games. You can't think your way out of overthinking, but you can move your way through it. Go for a walk, do 10 push-ups. Dance in your room, stretch. The second you engage your body, your mind softens its grip. It's biology. Your body is an antidote to your thoughts. Step 5, make peace with imperfect action. Perfection is the prison where overthinkers die quietly. Stop waiting for the perfect time. plan or feeling, it won't come. The cure for overthinking is doing, even if it's messy, even if it's wrong. Done is better than perfect, because motion creates clarity. Clarity breeds confidence, and confidence silences doubt. Imagine this. You're sitting in a car, engine on, GPS loaded. You know where you want to go, but you're frozen, afraid to pull out of the driveway. What if I crash? What if I get lost? What if I run out of gas? So you sit for years. And the truth is, the car was never meant to stay in the driveway. Neither were you. You were built for movement, for mistakes, for momentum. The only way to get unstuck is to drive anyway. You're not broken, you're not weak. You're just overpracticed at fear and underpracticed at courage. But that changes today. You don't need to fix every thought. You just need to take one step, one deep breath, one tiny action, one decision to say, I don't have to believe every voice in my head, because you are not your thoughts. You are the one watching those thoughts, and that means you have power. So here's my challenge to you today. Tonight, instead of lying in bed and letting your thoughts win, write one sentence. Just one. Something you've been thinking about doing for far too long. Something you know your future self needs you to do. Then tomorrow, take one imperfect action toward it. Doesn't matter how small. Your goal is not to be fearless. Your goal is to not let fear make every decision. If this spoke to you, don't just like and subscribe. Do something different. Comment below. What's one thing you've been overthinking that you're ready to finally act on? Let's make this real. Let's make this yours. And remember, here at Elevate Alpha, we don't just chase success. We become the kind of people who are strong enough to handle it. So stop waiting for peace to find you. Go create it. Until next time, keep rising, keep moving, and never, ever let your mind talk you out of the life you were born to live.